Welcome, everyone, to What to Watch Live, the show where we discuss the best in TV and entertainment this week. My name is David, and today I am joined by my fellow Xfinity editors, Scott and Rose. Hello.
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 Welcome. How y'all doing today?
Well,
Feeling
excellent, outstanding. Glad I woke up today.
Well, yes, that's kind of important, right?
The best part to every day is waking up. That's the most.
I thought it was Folgers, David.
Product placement. On today's show, we've got a great one for you. We revisit our favorite Mouse House animation of the 1990s. We explore Rose's latest Netflix obsession. We'll be joined by Showtime star Z-Way. We will sell each other on some of our favorite TV shows. And of course, we'll help you organize your TV watch list for the week ahead. So without further ado, let's kick things off with a segment we call Does It Hold Up? Chippendale Rescue Rangers are back. That's right, the beloved cartoon TV series, which actually only aired 65 episodes from 1989 to 1990, is now a brand new movie on Disney+. The live-action animated hybrid film stars John Mulaney and Andy Samberg as the voices of Chip and Dale, who must reunite their crew to rescue one of the original cast members. Let's take a quick look at a clip.
Chippendale Rescue Rangers, the show that defined a generation and turned two unknown chipmunks into international superstars. But as success took Chippendale to new heights,
to many more seasons of the Rescue Rangers,
we were living the dream, dancing the Roger Rabbit with Roger Rabbit.
no one ever imagined it could all come crashing down. Torn by vanity.
You look different.
Hey, it's no secret I had the CGI surgery done.
Consumed by temptation.
My love of cheese got the best of me. I just love it so much.
More, please. More, please.
Is it possible that two living legends are destined to reunite?
I'm thinking reboot.
Nobody wants a reboot.
I want a reboot.
I want a reboot.
Yes.
Give this to me now.
Yes, up here.
Especially this. This looks amazing.
It
I mean,
looks so good.
I love how self-aware it is. Like, it's just bananas.
Yeah, it's got like that, what was that VH1 series, Behind the Music? Like, it's got that kind of vibe to it.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
love
at
it.
all where I was going.
Oh, really? It is.
That's where I was going. I liked
And
that.
then it all
angle.
came crashing down.
Yeah.
Like, that whole vibe. So I don't know about y'all, but watching Disney cartoons on Saturday mornings, as well as the weekday blocks during the Disney afternoon, was such a big part of my childhood. So today we decided to look back at some of our favorites, which are actually all currently streaming on Disney Plus, which is really, really exciting.
Yeah.
First up, I want to talk about my favorite of all time, which was Darkwing Duck.
Come on, prop.
There he is. Let's take a look at Darkwing Duck. Bring it up. Let me see it.
Swoops out of the shadows, darkly on the night. Somewhere some villain schemes, but his number's up. 3, 2, 1. Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you call me. Darkwing Duck.
Let's get dangerous.
Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing.
It's so good.
You know, they just don't do theme songs like this anymore. Like, you get a full-on character story in the theme songs back in the day.
They don't. And, like, first of all, Batman has always been my favorite superhero, and Darkwing Duck is basically just Duck Batman. Not to be confused with Duckman, which was its own thing. But come on, like, by day, Darkwing Duck was mild-mannered Drake Mallard, a single father to his adopted daughter Gosselin. And by night, he's this fame-hungry, crime-fighting vigilante named Darkwing Duck. And like Batman, he had a colorful collection of supervillains like Negaduck, Megavolt, Quackerjack, Bushroot, Steelbeak, Paddywhack, the Liquidator, Ammonia Pine.
Ammonia Pine.
They all sound like drag queens. Those are drag queens, David.
Ammonia Pine was like a cleaning lady who like used like cleaning products to, I don't know, kill Darkwing.
She also moonlights on, in Fire Island. She does a couple shows there a year.
Well, Darkwing Duck is often believed to be a spin-off of DuckTales because Launchpad McQuack is actually Darkwing Duck's sidekick, his Robin, if you will. But the series creator Tad Stones, his name is Tad Stones, has said that the show lives in its own universe. And I was flat out obsessed with Darkwing when I was a kid. I remember Disney did a Disney afternoon version of Disney on Ice. And like I practically lost my mind when Darkwing Duck skated out onto the ice. I also once found Darkwing at Walt Disney World Wandering Adventureland in January 2004. I never ever saw him again at Disney World, just at this one spot in January, off season, and getting a photo with him was the greatest moment.
Tell me you have that photo.
I do. I should have brought it to the show, but I have it. It was taken on a really crappy digital camera. It's so pixelated because 2004.
They had digital cameras back then, David?
I know. I was thinking paper
it's like one of those ones where you like turn the thing. It's like
yeah, I set in my camera. But Rose, I know you have a show that you're equally obsessed with from the Disney afternoons.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, talk about theme songs. Play the clip. Here it is. Yeah.
Dashing and daring, courageous and caring, faithful and friendly with stories to share. All through the forest they sing out in chorus, marching along as their song fills the air. Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. They are gummy bears.
Gosh, I mean, theme song. It just takes you back to when times were so simpler, and like my spiel coming up, it's going to have a ton of fun facts. So,
Rose, before we get into this, how would you say that medieval times was simpler?
I'm not talking about the story timeline. I'm talking about my childhood.
Oh,
the simpler times of my childhood.
Fair. Okay, sorry. Go on.
All good. The Adventures of the Gummy Bears was the first animated TV series by Walt Disney Television. And I'm so happy to say this because I love the candy. It was loosely based on the Gummy Bear candies, and it aired from 1985 to 1991, aka Scott, the golden years of my childhood. And of course, it's widely known for the theme song. I mean, all of these theme songs, you know the words, and it unlocks this memory you thought you'd forgotten, and then you could just say them out loud. My favorite thing about this show, no surprise if you've watched, it revolves around food. I was fascinated that this gummy drink gave you superpowers. So if you were like one of the gummy bears, you could bounce away from danger or your enemies. And then if humans drank it, it just gave you a superhuman strength for like a little bit of time. And I was like, always wondering, like, I wonder what it tastes like. I bet you it tastes like grape juice. That's what I would think. That's what I think it was.
Gummy berry juice specifically.
Yeah,
and you know if like it was now, you know how you go to like the Hogwarts world and Universal Studios and they have butterbeer, they would be making this gummy berry juice at Disney World if the show is still around.
I have a lot of questions about the origin story of how this is loosely based on the origin story of gummy bears, because like
okay, here's the fun fact. So,
what?
I can't remember the guy. The head of the guy at the time was asking his son, niece, nephew, I don't know. Now I'm getting into loose facts. Like, for ideas, and he was asking for gummy bear candies, and he's like, oh, maybe we should do something around gummy bears. And that's sort of how it came about. It was a nice jumping off point. But my point is, like, let's talk about the food. Let's talk about gummy bear juice, because the gummy bears were loosely based on the candy, which drew me to it. And then they drink fun gummy berry juice, and then they can bounce as high as ever. Like, I'm already extra, and I want something to go extra. So anyways, I think it holds up. Fond memories. Scott, what do you have? What's up next?
I got another duck story.
Love ducks.
Yes, come on, let's go.
Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales. Woo! Every day they're out there making DuckTales. Woo! Tales of daring do.
Yes. No, like you can't tell me that is not the most addictive theme song. Like honestly, you can't not. I've been singing it all morning. It's really frustrating. I'm like, and then I started incorporating my own verses, adding my dog into it, like making cereal, singing about that. It's a whole thing. But yeah, to your earlier point, David, the House of Mouse was full of ducks at this time. Ducks were really having a moment. Mighty Ducks, DuckTales, Darkwing Duck. I don't think this is a Disney movie, but Howard the Duck. It's a very different movie.
I used to have 3 pet ducks. I used to have 3 pet ducks.
See, look, this is the thing. I don't think I've seen a duck since this time period, actually. So, I mean, they just went. They were gone. They got their money and they ran. But yeah, Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Scrooge McDuck, life goals, diving into a pit of coins, which definitely hurt, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I think the fondest memory for me, at least, I love this show, but the video game, the NES game for DuckTales was iconic. The moon level music was truly I could listen to that now.
The music
Tell me
was
more.
so
What do you- I
good.
didn't know there was a video game.
I had
Oh my
it too,
God.
and the music is up there with Sonic the Hedgehog, or
And
Zelda.
Mega Man. I'm telling you.
Oh, I
those
played
are
Mega Man. Yeah, I played
When you
these
think
Mega
about
Man.
what they had to work with to make those things, it's incredible that they were able to kind of pull together such hot, fresh beats.
I know those, Scott. When you say these were all bops, these theme songs, all bops. You're right. They don't make them like that today anymore. I can't even sing a song now. Whatever.
No, I mean they usually just repurpose a pop song. It's okay,
Right.
cool. I want to hear character arcs in the thing. Just give me all of it.
Right.
I want to
I
know
want
what
the
I'm signing
origin
up for.
story in the theme song, right?
Exactly. But yeah, there was something for everyone here with this show. You had all different types of characters, and they all had separate colors, so you could easily identify them, which is great. If you like blue, you could like whoever wore blue. I don't know. I don't remember the name. But yeah, there you go. Love it. DuckTales. Woo! Holds up.
You can easily identify them, but I don't know which one the blue was.
The blue one. I don't know. Look.
But that was a thing during the 80s and 90s. They did that with Alvin and the Chipmunks. Granted, they had big, or at least Alvin had a big A, but they were also blue, green, and red, so you could tell them apart.
Yeah, I mean, Rescue Rangers, they had their red nose, right? One had red nose and the other one didn't, and one wore the
also had
fedora.
different teeth. They had different
teeth.
They had different teeth. We've talked a lot about the theme songs here, and back in 2019, I had the chance to interview Lin-Manuel Miranda for an episode of Xfinity Hangouts, and we talked about how much he loves the Disney Afternoon theme songs, and he was praising the fact that each song has 2 key changes, and he said that the Darkwing Duck theme was the first time he remembers being aware of an internal rhyme. When there's trouble, you call DW. And he said, it's just genius. He even as a kid, he was like, that's so smart. And so that he had also jokingly in another previous interview said that Darkwing Duck inspired Hamilton. But I think what he was really saying was it was that internal rhyme and that rhyme scheme that he used quite a bit in Hamilton. So yeah, this stuff was so cool. They really don't make them like this anymore. Says a bunch of old people here on the floor.
It just proves you inspiration can come from anywhere. Darkwing Duck and Hamilton. Love that.
Who would have thought? Here he is. And Darkwing Duck, Adventures of Gummy Bears, DuckTales, and Chippendale Rescue Rangers are available now on Disney Plus, along with some other Disney Afternoon favorites like Tailspin, Goof Troop, Bonkers, which no one talks about, Gargoyles, and more. So just say Disney Plus into your voice remote. Next up, Rose is obsessed with something. Let's find out what it is in a segment called Editor Picks. We've all had that moment while watching a TV show or movie, that moment where a scene or a song or a line of dialogue really gets under your skin or weaves its way into your soul and makes you say, wow. Well, our very own Rose had one of those moments while watching the final episodes of Netflix's hit drama Ozark and wanted to tell us about it. Rose, what do you got for us?
You guys, thank you for allowing me to get on a tiny little soapbox. Well, I'm probably going to make it big to talk about Ozark. It debuted its series finale recently, I want to say April 29th. I rewatched the entire series in anticipation of the finale. And when I tell you I hardly slept, it's not an exaggeration. Stayed up until about 4 a.m, slept for a couple of hours, woke up at 6, brought my son to school, worked the day, and then started it all over again. I even listened to Jason Bateman's Smartless podcast that he has just so I can get bits of Marty Byrde throughout the day. And like, if there is a defining episode or scene that just embodies the great writing and performance of a show, season 4, episode 8 of Ozark is the one for me. Let's watch the clip, and then I'm going to take you guys on the deepest dive I think we've ever been on this show.
I'm good.
Sorry, I just wanted to say I really love your
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Anyway.
What you bumping?
Oh, nothing. Just stuff in the past.
There was a snitch on the block getting knocked. So hold your stash to the coke price drop. I know this crackhead who said she gotta smoke nice rock. And if
it always feels to me like he hates it and misses it all at once. And he's only 20.
You know, when I listen to that record, its projects are in Queens and you can kind of see Manhattan. And I've always thought it was so hopeful and cruel at the same time.
You ever wonder if he'd trade that record if it meant not having to go through all that?
And if you gotta ask the question, you should take it easy on the coffee.
Me? I never sleep.
Why not?
You know.
That's it. That's it right there. I hope you guys were paying attention because I'm about to break it down for you. You guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay, here it goes. There are so many layers to this. First, I should note, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched, cover your ears right now. 3, 2, 1. Ruth is devastated in the scene because in the previous episode, she lost her cousin. He died. Somebody shot him, unfortunately, because of the company that he was keeping. So she is reeling from this death. And her cousin is the world to her because he represented everything that her family line potentially, like, he couldn't be. Like, he was hoped to just get out of the life of crime and poor decisions that led them on a dark path, right? So remember that. She's reeling from the death of her cousin. So after Killer Mike, by the way, that's Killer Mike making a cameo, who is part of the rap duo Run the Jewels, whose songs are also featured a lot on the series. But so after Killer Mike listens to the song and asks Ruth, why not? As in, like, why don't you sleep? Ruth responds, and it's an understanding between the both of them that the rest of Ruth's answer should be finished by the line in the song. Now, this episode features Nas's album Illmatic. The first episode to feature a full-length album, all these songs from an album, most of them that they could get the rights to. So they know, both of them have an understanding that she's listening to Nas's New York State of Mind. And when Ruth answers, it should be finished by a famous line in the song that she's listening to, which is, I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. There's so many layers to this. Now, if you're just a casual viewer and the song is just playing in the background, you automatically know that she's devastated. You know, you already know there's like something deep going on. Layer 1, music is like, sorry, that was layer 1. Layer 2, sorry, I'm just so excited to talk about this with you guys. Okay, layer 2, she doesn't want to be caught sleeping, right? She doesn't want to be caught sleeping because oh my God, death is her cousin. Her cousin represents death. She wants to stay awake because if she sleeps, death is just emphasized to her. Like, that is Ruth. She doesn't want to sleep. She wants her cousin to be alive. But if she sleeps, then her cousin is just underlined by the song that is death. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay? You following me? That's the second layer. Okay? 3.
Give me the third layer.
There's more layers. 3. If you don't know the lyrics of the song, not just that one line, the entire lyric explains Ruth, and Killer Mike says it about, like looking far off, being stuck in one place and looking far off into the distance to New York. The opulence, the extravagance, and the riches are so close, but you're just stuck here. And it's like you can't go forward. Ruth, same thing. She's so close to the birds, the ones who are in control, calling all the shots. She wants to be in that position, but she can't. She's stuck. She's stuck. Like, there's just so many things. The episode is called Cousin of Death. The lyrics to the entire song are so poignant, but the fact that the writers added so many layers, and no matter where you sit in terms of knowledge of the song, of where you are in the episode, to the many, many deep things that are happening here, there's something for everyone and something that you have left to unpack. And I love the fact that if you know, you know. And if you don't, sure, you get it. But the weight of it by that one lyric that isn't even said in the entire episode is just adds such gravity and weight to it all that you feel her devastation by it, by that seemingly throwaway conversation that you might not take notice to. So anyways, that's my deep dive. I absolutely love it. If you missed it, I mean, you can go back, say Netflix, your voice remote. It's there for you to watch. I mean, first, what are your thoughts, guys? Did I enlighten you? Or you're like, Rose, get it together. This is crazy.
I mean, it doesn't surprise people who don't know Rose. Like, Rose and I have conversations dissecting Batman and Marvel series via text, deep dives. So you picking up on all this stuff is no surprise to me, and I'm very appreciative of smart writing, good performances, how music and writing and performances all weave together into moments like this. So I think it's pretty cool that you picked up on something that I would guarantee 99% of the people watching had no idea happened.
That's why she's the expert.
You guys, I am sweating talking to you about this and I spent a good 2 hours yesterday going over my points, my rights, my rewrites, because I wanted to try and get this into the most concise manner. I don't know if I did a good job because I just have so much passion for this one scene. And with the writers, they're fans of the music, and they hear the lyrics, and they just weaved it in so well. I mean, again, the fact that you don't even hear the lyric, sleep, I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death. But if you know, that's really what she wants to say. And the layers that just are brought into it are amazing. The writers, the performance, it's so, what's the word that's better than outstanding? Whatever it is, I can't think of it, but that's it. I mean, are there other shows or TVs shows or movies that you guys can think of that affected you this way?
I mean, it's interesting because Audrey talked and I talked about Station 11 a few weeks ago on What to Watch Live, and she had this really great way of saying that there are moments in that show that just like speak to your soul. And that's a show that did it. And I was thinking about this moment. Granted, it's not like quite as nuanced as you've described, but there's this moment in season 1, episode 6 of Pose, where I won't go into all the details, but Evan Peters goes to this character Angel, played by India Moore, goes to the adult club she works at in like this booth. And, you know, they've been having kind of this building, like sizzling romance, but they haven't really had that moment where he's like professed his love and vice versa. And he shows up at the booth that she's working at, and the door comes up over the window, and White Snake's Is It Love comes on, and just it reveals him, and it goes, is this love that I'm feeling? And just like the lighting is perfect, this like red light, and she puts her hand up on the glass and he puts his hand on the glass, and I believe that's the way the episode ends. But it was just this perfect mixture of their performance, the music they chose, the reveal, the way they shot it, and also just the build up to that moment that just like, I remember that's when I realized I loved Pose. Honestly, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah,
and
that particular scene was beautifully done. I mean, there's like Ryan Murphy, hit or miss, whatever, with a lot of the stuff that he does, but that particular moment he just really nailed, and I think that's great. I think you get similar moments in Euphoria. I guess the first season of Euphoria was particularly good at this, where they just kind of perfectly combined music with the actual scene and what was going on. I think that one moment where Rue was, I think she's tripping at the party, and the room just kept turning around them, but the music that they were playing, I think, was Arc Patrol, Hex, and it was just brilliant. Everything about it was just right. It was giving you the vibe that you needed for that particular moment, and when you can lace all of those things with imagery and acting and sound, it's just like...
Absolutely. It's like the writers and everybody behind the scenes to make a perfect episode, and those little nuances where you can continue to go back to peel back those layers of like the onion, so to speak, and find something new each time. I mean, it's just excellent writing, and you know that's a good show, and you can experience it and enjoy it on every single level. That's what really, really gets them. That's what gets me. That's what I deem like, that's what I'm going to spend my time on. My time is worth something. If I'm going to watch it, it better be good. And Ozark absolutely did it for me. So there's my deep dive.
Perfect. And if you haven't watched it, watch it now. You can rewatch it. Just say what to watch into your voice remote and find all the shows we just talked about, and catch up and do your own deep dive. Next up, we welcome this week's very special guest in our latest edition of Hangouts. Comedian and writer Ziwe recently launched season 2 of her self-titled variety series on Showtime, and our very own Scott had the opportunity to sit down with her for a new episode of Xfinity Hangouts. Scott, tell us more about this one.
David, you know I love Ziwe. I think she's phenomenal. Her show is like proper car crash television. It's like one of those things that is so uncomfortable to watch, just because of the questions that she asks, like, you know, the people that are coming onto her show. It's just things that you would never expect to be asked in an interview, and you can just see how uncomfortable the celebrities are. And like watching the first season, I was totally thinking to myself, like, how is this girl ever going to get a second season? Like, what celebrity in their right mind after seeing this air would ever want to go on this show? And she somehow managed to pull together a whole bunch of people who still want to come on. Yeah, it was intense. So when this opportunity came from Showtime to interview her, I had a lot of hesitation because I was terrified that she was going to grill me. And like, so I had to put some thought to it, but I decided to jump in and try and gay Ziwe her a little bit. It worked out a little bit. It was fun. It was a good time. So we have a little clip here of the show and from my chat with her. So let's go ahead and throw to that.
Season 2, we are starting fresh. What exactly does empowerment means to you?
I don't know what empowerment means.
Wow.
I'm uncomfortable.
Facts exist.
Sorta.
What accent will you be conducting this interview in?
We already know this, but you're a bit of a gay icon, but you yourself do not identify as LGBTQ+, correct?
You know, I mean, that's such a wild question. What is my sexuality? I mean, we have a gay pride episode in which I address, I put to bed rumors about what my sexuality is. And so you're going to find out, in episode 206 with Katja Zajamakova and Adam Pally.
Yes. All right. So is it fair to say that you surround yourself with a lot of queer folks?
Yes, definitely.
Like what percentage of your friend group would you say is queer?
You know, I never took a census, but I'll do it next time.
Okay. So like, why do you think you hang out with so many gay people? Is it because of our keen fashion sense or like our superior genes?
What?
I mean, are you like planning to steal our life forces or are you like starting a cult? I need to know.
Am I starting a cult? No, in the words of Kristen Stewart, gay rights. That's how I feel. That's where I stand.
I love that.
Are you kidding? Yeah.
Come on, gay rights. Wow.
James.
Z-Way. Yes. So can confirm she's not trying to steal our genes, but you know, we'll see.
I loved the energy you were bringing there too. Like I've watched every interview you've ever done, but like you definitely were a little more aggressive in that interview. Not in a bad way.
Saucy and spicy in that one, Scott. More than I've ever seen you.
I tried. Well, to be fair, I was sort of thrust into that one pretty quickly. There's just, you know how sometimes when we go into these things, we have a little bit more of like a buffer period before we jump in. I kind of like was dropped right in with her and I was like, they hit the record button and I was like, okay, let's go. So yeah, it was a moment, it was an energy and a vibe. And I definitely just kind of leaned in. So, and you know, if you're going to do it and try and like bring someone's own style into, you know, an interview with them, I feel like you got to go big or go home. So I tried to pull that off. So hopefully with great effect, but who knows? We'll see. Watch the interview and find out.
What is the show's like kind of a variety show, right? It's interviews and sketches.
Yeah, so the first season runs slightly differently. She interviews multiple people throughout an episode, and it kind of is interlaced with vignettes. So she'll have like satirical commercials, like American Girl dolls, or you know, like a woke game show, a Karen support group, and like music videos. Like Lisa called the cops on Black people, or stop being poor, like all stuff that is just like insane, obviously all with a satirical lens. So the second season is slightly different, or at least that's from the episodes that I saw. It leans more into one guest and still has a theme around the entire episode, but it kind of is an extended interview with that person, and then there's like kind of vignettes and stuff laced in throughout that. So yeah.
Well, I can't wait to watch this and to watch the rest of your interview. That was really exciting. And your hair was on point. It was even like a little bit of a different hairstyle for you too.
Oh, I probably just curled it a little bit more. This is all smoke and mirrors, by the way. She has a hat on today because there's a lot. But yeah, normally it's just like straight, flat, down, just whoosh.
You just brought a whole different Scott to that one.
Yeah.
And I really love it.
Never
Scott
seen that
way.
one before.
Scott way. Well, you can watch season 2 of Z-Way now on Showtime, or check out Scott's entire interview by saying what to watch or Xfinity Hangouts into your voice remote. And next up, we dive into a brand new comedy series that can be yours in just 4 easy payments in a segment called Change My Mind. Scott recently told us about a brand new Showtime comedy called I Love That For You, and I'll admit it, this series wasn't even on my radar as a must-watch. So Scott, change my mind.
My first question for you, David, before we jump into this is 4 easy payments of what?
I don't know. I was afraid to put a price on it. I didn't want to undervalue.
There we go. All right.
Gummy berry
So,
juice. 4 easy
Gum-
payments of gummy berry juice.
Gummy berry juice. Okay, I mean that seems like it's going to be hard to find, but but let's go. I think we have a clip of the show first, so let's go into that, and then I'll give you some great talking points on why you should watch it.
My dream was always to be a host on SVN. Of course, I would not do anything without discussing it with you first.
We've been on like 2 dates.
3.
Are you new?
Yeah.
Who is this person?
I hail from Cleveland, and if y'all are looking for a real good friend, you know who to call. Yeah.
Darcy, move her down to 3 a.m.
3 a.m. Yeah, I agree.
I'm Jackie. I know who you are. Hey, y'all.
We're coming into people's living rooms. It's a relationship.
No more sandstone. Tell them we're out. Gotcha. Sorry about that. Don't talk to me. I'm so sorry. I don't apologize. Sorry for saying sorry.
2 minutes to live? They're gonna be great.
Really?
I'm not sure.
Are you dying to smell it?
I sure am.
Now, I know you've all been there. Like, it's the middle of the night, maybe it's in the morning, I don't know. You just happen to come across an infomercial and then you're just stuck there watching it and you don't understand why. It's like, it's not even something that you need or want. You're just sitting there and you're like, why am I still watching this? Like, you need like a higher power to help you either turn off the remote or change the channel. It's a whole thing. So this show is very much that for me. I mean, as a busy mom, just like you guys, you know, it can be hard between taking your kid to the park and putting them down for naps. So, you know, it's hard to find that me time. So one of the great selling points of this show is that it's just 30-minute episodes. So you can really fit it into your very, very hectic schedule, right? You know, as a regular mom like Rose or as a dog mom like me and David. It's also funny, you know, and isn't that just something that we all need in our life right now with everything that's going on in the world, with the pandemic and Ukraine? It's like, sometimes we just need something a little bit lighthearted to kind of take our mind off of things. And I think that this show is really great for that. You know, you can buy just one episode or you can subscribe to Showtime and watch the entire season. It's really your choice. I hear that the Showtime option is selling out really quickly. So definitely make sure you jump in on that one. And also, I know that you guys are all really big fans of the other two. I think last time we had it on the show, it sold out really, really quickly. So you can fill that Molly Shannon-sized hole in your life with I Love That For You. I think it's a great option to kind of that interseason option, I guess, before the new season of the other two. So yeah, dive on in.
I'm sold. I'm going to buy it.
Yes, buy. Okay, good. I haven't even told you the price yet.
Be dialing.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. The characters are great. It's just so silly. I cannot recommend this enough. So if you need something new in your life, and like you said, it wasn't on your radar, David, but I'm happy to be able to bring this to you in your home.
Thank you. I am sold for sure. I am sold on this.
Awesome. Now, Rose, I think you're up with our next segment. I'm curious to hear what you've got on deck for us.
Ooh, Scott, David, I got something so decadent for you.
Oh, is it lava cake? Is it lava cake?
Please.
Maybe. I mean, a cousin to it. A cousin.
Chocolate covered pretzels.
Maybe.
Oh.
But it's Selling Sunset. Do we have a clip? I can't remember. We have a clip?
I don't think we have a clip.
It's
No,
okay.
so.
It's all
We
good.
have a clip? No clip? No clip.
Didn't warrant no
All
clip.
right. Thanks.
You're not supposed to talk to the person in your ear, Rose.
Dude, when I was watching that clip, I was like, I relate to her so much. And then I just did it. Whatever. All right. Here it is. It's Selling Sunset. So you were talking about a chocolate lava cake. So here's why I think you guys should be sold on Selling Sunset. Relating to food again, it's like an eclair. It's real fancy on the outside. It looks so sweet, aspirational maybe, but on the inside, it's stuffed with tons of crap that's so bad for you. but it's still so good at the same time. And that's what Selling Sunset is. It's aspirational because all of these women are bad A Bs. Try not to curse.
Did you just do the alphabet?
Bad ABs. C, D, E, F.
I mean, like, they're making millions of dollars. Some of them have multiple businesses making them millions upon millions of dollars. I mean, they're out there getting it, okay? Absolutely, that's aspirational. All in there, like, you know, diamond encrusted Louboutins, right? At the same time, they've got some real crazy issues, extra dose of drama that I just can't keep my eyes off of. I'm like, oh, what's happening? Some cringy moments. Like, should I keep watching? Yes, I should keep watching because these are millionaires who, because they're crazy, sort of feel like I can relate to them a little bit. You can't look away. So that said, it's a fancy eclair filled with crap that you can have on the daily without the calories. Selling Sunset.
Okay.
There's
You know,
no way I'm watching it.
Yeah. So I'm going to pass to, I think you had me until you started talking about the drama. That's kind of where, like, the thing I like about these types of shows is actually the real estate and like the properties and like watching all of that stuff. I have zero interest in the infighting and the cattiness. It's just like, oh God.
Oh, I love it.
Who
so
has
much.
the time?
But
well, that's the thing. In
Real
real life, I
Housewives.
don't have the time. So I'll watch
David.
them go through it. And then, you know, go back to my real life.
I don't love the Real Housewives so much, but yes, there are moments of it that I do enjoy. It's just like the girl power of it, when they come together for a common goal. The things I don't like is when it's just like,
person.
yeah, I don't like the silly, like unnecessary fighting. Like below
Yeah.
deck, there's obvious reasons to fight because someone messed up your lobster thermidor. Like, that is a serious issue, not not this. Well, I mean, whatever. I know that I've seen some of these episodes because Kevin watches it, and there are definitely like some of these fights are just like so inflated.
Did I half sell you on it? Because if it's not for the cat fights, but if it's for like the crazy interiors and houses that they sell, they're like billions of dollars.
Yeah, that would be the better selling point for me.
Okay, so did I half sell you on it? Do I have half of your commitment?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try it, but I'll probably return it within 30 days.
Yeah, same. I'll start a payment plan, but then never finish it.
So it's on layaway. It's on layaway. Remember layaway?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
all right, David, what's yours?
Yeah. Now that you've both had a chance to sell us on a couple of your shows, I'd like to take the opportunity to tell you about a little Prime Video series called Carnival Row. I tried to pick a show that I enjoyed that there was probably no way either of you would watch it to try and sell you on it. And I get it. On the surface, it's hard to get excited about a fantasy series starring Orlando Bloom and Cara Delevingne as mythical creatures. But there's so much going on in this show. It's like Twilight meets Harry Potter, meets Game of Thrones, meets Narnia, meets Charles Dickens, meets Romeo and Juliet. It's basically this series that takes place in a world where these untouched homelands of exotic creatures are being invaded by humans, which is forcing these creatures to take refuge in human cities, where then they are treated like second-class citizens and basically slaves who have to abide by human rules. They have curfews. They're not allowed to fly or use, certain elements of who they actually are. They aren't allowed to date outside their race. They're looked down upon. They're spit on. There's derogatory terms for various creatures. And the show follows several of these creatures, including a fairy named Vignette, who is played by Cara, as they try to find their way in this world. And it's so much more than just a silly fantasy series. It tackles issues around race, class, immigration, politics, and it does it in a really unique and engaging way that isn't preachy. It's again like that subtext we talked about previously. And there's also like a lot of great action. There's this really epic battle that rivals some of the large scale moments in Game of Thrones. So Carnival Row is returning for a second season. It was actually one of the very first shows to suspend filming when the pandemic hit. They were in production for season 2. It was delayed. They picked it back up. And I'm hoping that we see season 2 before the end of the year. I have no inside details on that, just keeping my fingers crossed. But that is Carnival Row.
All right. I mean, I might buy it, but I'll keep the tags on.
That's fine. And if you like it, take off those tags. If not, send it back. It's store credit. Get store credit, and you can watch The Boys. On Prime
David is
Video.
only doing store credit. He's not taking any
I only get store credit.
Cash. I'm not putting the money back in your credit card. You can keep
No, I want
shopping
it back on my credit card, y'all.
Lord. Yeah, David, I did watch it. I think 1 or 2 episodes of this. I can't remember why I never went back to it. It may have been that I just had screeners and then I never like got back to it when it actually came on. But I did enjoy it. If not, it was a little bit dark, like in terms of like the setting. I think sometimes for me that can be a little bit of a downer, just because, you know, as a borderline narcoleptic, like anything that's like overly dark in picture, I have a tendency to just shut off. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was fun. I'm not a huge Cara Delevingne fan. Like and I also don't love her hair in this. And that's like, ugh.
The hair. The hair.
But yeah,
I think I said when this came out that like, obviously she's not a trained actress. Like she's a model who's gone into acting, and she was not great in what was it? Paper Towns.
Oh,
was
Paper
it?
Town. Yeah, I think Paper Town.
But I think she's vastly improved in this show. I remember saying that she's actually much better. She's improved. And I actually like her in it. And I like her and Orlando Bloom together. I think they have decent chemistry. One of the really interesting tidbits real quick is that there's like this obsession with wealth. And there's this character who has found out about this wealthy man who moves in next door, and she's just obsessed with having him over for dinner. And he comes over and she finds out that he's a faun. He's got these horns at the side of his head. And she's then like so repulsed, but also like so attracted to his wealth, and is like stuck in this realm between like loving him for his wealth, but hating him because of what is essentially his race, and like coming to terms with that. It just deals with a lot of like really relevant, interesting, and important topics through this like lens of fantasy. And I just think it's really smartly done.
You had me at like Harry Potter and Game of Thrones, and then it got really dark, and then I got sad. So I'll still keep the tags on.
All right.
But
It was fun.
Okay.
If you want to check out any of these series, keep the tags on or not. Just say what to watch into your voice remote to find out what we talked about right now. And before we head out for the week, as always, we're here to help you plan your TV watch list in a segment called Plan Ahead. This week's premieres will test your music expertise, transport you back to the Upside Down, and whisk you away to a galaxy far, far away. And Rose is going to tell us all about it. Take it away, Rose.
Niecy Nash hosts the all-new version of the popular game show Don't Forget the Lyrics, putting each contestant's musical memory to the test. Watch as each competitor gets one song closer to winning $1 million, as long as they don't forget the lyrics. Premiering on Fox May 23rd. Shoresy is a Canadian comedy spin-off of Letterkenny, and this comedy series focuses on the foul-mouthed bench boss of the same name as he moves to Sudbury to join the struggling hockey team, the Sudbury Bulldogs, on his quest to never lose again. Watch it all unfold on Hulu May 27th. The hit retro sci-fi drama Stranger Things returns for a 4th season. Elle and friends are separated for the first time, struggling with not only the aftershock of the Battle of Starcourt, but now the complexities of high school. With season 4 being quoted the most bizarre yet, You can watch just how bizarre Season 4 of Stranger Things gets on Netflix May 27. Ewan McGregor continues his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Disney Plus series of the same name. The series takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. Will fans get to see Obi-Wan interact with the young Luke Skywalker? You'll have to tune in to Disney Plus on May 27th to find out.
Nothing sells a show quite like the promise of more Hayden Christensen.
I think it's like the younger one because it's 10 years after it's Luke Skywalker. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't think he's well.
Hayden Christensen is Darth Vader.
Right, but Ewan McGregor. Takes place with him when Luke Skywalker is younger. This takes place after.
Right, Luke Skywalker isn't Darth Vader. Darth Vader is Darth Vader.
Oh, I'm getting mixed up.
She's clearly a big Star Wars stan.
I'm getting mixed up.
Anyway.
Okay, whatever.
We'll work this out while you check out Scott's finales, which feature a goodbye forever to the Pearsons. It'll get us one step closer to Jimmy McGill's final form, and it will crown the newest sole survivor. Scott, tell us all about it.
Kicking off finales for the week, we have the hit AMC series Better Call Saul. The series begins the end of an epic 6-season run with its mid-season finale on May 23rd. Fans of the season will likely welcome the reprieve given the intensity and heartache that the first half of Saul's farewell tour has brought along with it. Part 2 will pick back up in July, so until then, I guess you better call someone else. On Tuesday, May 24th, we say hello and goodbye to the Pearsons for the final time. After 6 intensely emotional seasons of its award-winning drama, This Is Us, NBC is closing the book on the family's generational story. Anyone familiar with the series likely knows that its writers have an uncanny ability to increase the propensity of ugly crying in its viewers. And given that this is the series' last hurrah, expect the vicarious crying proneness to be amped up to like 11. All this to say, have some tissues handy and maybe a support animal if you have one handy. On Wednesday, May 25th, everyone's favorite survival show closes out its 42nd season. No, I'm not talking about the Kardashians, I'm talking about CBS's reality mainstay, Survivor. Now, fully realizing that I personally would never be able to articulate the myriad of reasons you should tune into this finale, I decided to call on famed Survivor expert and fellow editor, Gordon.
Thanks, Scott. And if you were looking for some Survivor love, then you have come to the right place, my friend. Why? Because the season 42 finale hype train is pulling into the station. Choo-choo! All right, after an amazing season of blindsides and wacky twists and more Jeff Probst's blue button-down shirts than you can shake an idol at, it has come down to the final 5. And these questions remain: who will endure the remaining immunity challenges? Who will make the best argument at the final Tribal Council SmackDown? And ultimately, who will take home the $1 million prize? Personally, my money's on Omar. But despite being our resident Survivor expert, I'm always famously wrong every time. Always wrong. So sad. Not proud of that at all. So you're just going to have to tune in to the Survivor 42 finale to find out for yourself. And that's all I got, Scott. Back to you, buddy.
Moving on to Thursday, May 26th, we have the finale of the uber-popular medical drama Grey's Anatomy. And what's that I hear? Paging Dr. Kepner and Dr. Avery. Yes, you heard that correct. Fan favorite couple Jack Roll, aka Jackson Avery, and April Kepner will be returning to help close out the 18th season of the iconic series with an added touch of fan service, undoubtedly to the delight of Jack Roll stans everywhere. Rounding out the week's top finales is the insanely addictive whodunit, The Flight Attendant, the final episode of the frenetic rollercoaster ride that has been the sophomore season of the Kaylee Cuoco-helmed caper lands on HBO Max Thursday, May 26th. Now, fasten your seatbelts, y'all, and maybe familiarize yourself with the exits because I am expecting some serious turbulence ahead for Cassie and her friends, all of whom seem to make the worst decisions possible, right? Seriously, sort your lives. I damn near lost my voice from screaming at my television. So just be better for my sake.
Hey, thanks to Gordon for the little pop in there.
A little cameo.
Also, Scott, Kaylee Cuoco-helmed caper.
Yeah, trust it. That was tough. It's she-show, part of she-show.
Rose, Anakin is Darth Vader. who is Luke Skywalker's father.
Yes, I know that, but I got tripped up. I thought you were saying that Luke's, I don't know.
Hayden Christensen played Anakin. And will be back to play Anakin in Obi-Wan. Apparently. Yes. What a box we've opened here at the very end of the show.
I know. I wish we could dive deeper into it, but
that's all the time we have, and that will do it. Thank you to our special guest Z-Way for joining us. Thanks again to Gordon for popping in for Plan Ahead, and an even bigger thanks to my Xfinity editors Scott and Rose for hanging out with me this week. Shout outs to our producers Brad, Aaron, and everyone else behind the scenes for making the show tick. And if you want more What to Watch Live, we've got so much for you. The brand new Xfinity What to Watch Live channel has launched on Zumo. It is 24/7 curated movies, TV shows, Xfinity Hangouts episodes, and full episodes of What to Watch Live streaming all day long, 7 days a week, however many weeks a year, 52. You can just say What to Watch into your voice remote and you will find a tile to directly launch the channel in Zumo, or you can say Zumo into your remote and look for us in the pop culture section. Go check it out. I've picked the best movies and TV shows for you. You want some episodes of classic Batman. You want some Little House on the Prairie. You want some Garfield and Friends. Like, you never know what you're going to find.
Yeah, I mean, there were some obscure titles that I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll check this out. I think the Coda was programmed in there.
Coda, but not the Coda that you think. It's a different Coda.
It's the, what's his name? Katie Holmes and I can't remember his name. Spock.
The guy. Anakin. Just
No, I don't know. Go check it out. It's great, and you can watch all of our interviews. We have a different theme every single night. In the primetime block, you'll find a comedy block, horror, action, drama, fantasy. We have a great LGBTQ block featuring almost all Scott and Elvira for 4 hours. So
what more could you possibly want?
What? Nothing. I don't want anything more than that.
Strawberry juice. That's
Garfield. Garfield. I was about to say. I almost called you Garfield. I have one question for you, David.
I am not unlike Garfield. I hate Mondays.
I was gonna say you don't have Garfield programmed on Mondays because I don't think he'd be okay with that.
Wait, do you not like lasagna, David?
I love lasagna.
Okay, yeah. Good.
Going off the rails. If you want to check out the TV shows and the movies we talked about today, get more of our entertainment recommendations, or watch us interview big celebrities, just say What to Watch into your voice remote, or tune in here every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern for a new episode. My name is David. Thank you for joining us on What to Watch Live.
Bye.